You are listening to Truth, Logic and Common Sense with your host, Parlor Jones. And now, from deep within the bunker, where your intelligence is being intensified with your host, Parlor Jones.
With a sharp wit and a sharper eye, Parlor Jones cuts through the noise to deliver news that's as real as it gets. Because in a world of half-truths, cynicism is just clarity.
Join Parlor Jones for a no-nonsense dive into today's headlines, delivering the stories that matter.
Okay, hey there. Hey, just changed the studio around and I am in a different room, as you can tell. Let me see. Let me zoom in here. Actually, what is that? That flickering over there. What is that flickering? Ah, that's what it was. We don't need flickering. Let's zoom in a little bit. We'll just do a little bit of zoom action here. Maybe not. Oh, that was the wrong thing. Oh, I'm zooming in. I'm fading in and out like the Star Trek. This is what I wanted to do right here. Wrong control. There we go. Zoom in a little bit. There. Okay, are you just tuning in now? Let's see. Oh, okay. Hey, quick peek. Oh, yeah. You want to see? I'm going to show you today. I have been asked so many times, tell me if you could hear me. I just want to make sure that we got everything functioning right, because I had this all laid out on the software and it dumped. I had to go reload all the pictures that I'm about to show you, how this thing came to be. A beauty. The FJB edition. All right, so I'm going to just make sure that you can hear my words. If you can hear me, please just say hi or whatever. Okay, I see we got some people that are watching on X. Don't know if you could actually hear me though, so I'm going to assume that you could hear me. Okay, so a lot of friends of mine have been asking me recently and commenting. Not asking. Well, they asked, did you really make that guitar? And the answer to that was yes. And how did I make the guitar? Well, I took the pictures of this build as I was making it, and I just never did put a video together on how it came together. So without any further ado, I'm going to show you, going to get another quick peek. We're in the gun room. And we're banging into there. And at the end of the video, I'm going to actually let you hear it. And then, of course, there was some customized features like a real functioning scope. See, yeah, you can't see it in there, but it is functioning. And a heavy as all get out strap. I mean, the strap weighs, I think, as much as the guitar, because it is loaded up with real fake bullets. Real fake bullets. Okay, so we're going to lay that down. And I'm going to go over the things about the detail of the magazine detail there, and the mapping out of the distances from where the 12th fret is, right up there, on down to the bridge, and where the pots go through the back, and how the neck was attached, and how the back of the guitar is 2 sheets of wood glued and screwed and glued together, and it's really solid. And also that it is a Maestro Gibson, a Maestro by Gibson guitar. I should have put that in the opening title there, but I didn't. I forgot. So, okay, so we're going to just jump right into the first pictures of how it all came together. And I know I'm going to have to slide over to this side for you to be able to see the picture without me hidden behind it, peeking around the corner. Okay, so first of all, how did I even get the idea to build a guitar? Let me start off by saying first, for the record, that I have never ever built a guitar of any kind. I've played a lot of guitars, but I've never built a guitar. And I never owned the tools to build a guitar. So one day I was thinking, I wonder if I could do that. And I thought, well, I'm going to definitely need a router. So what did I do? I went out and I bought a Bosch plunge router. In other words, not one of those little lightweight compact things. And I'll tell you in the middle of the sequence of the video how I almost lost my right leg. I'm laughing now, and there was nobody around when it happened. So the idea came when I was in a pawn shop, because I love going to pawn shops and seeing what kind of guitars are for sale at good deals. So I walked into a pawn shop one day and I saw this guitar right here. And I thought, wow, it's got a black neck. And that was one of the things that was kind of important. I wanted it to have a black neck and a black headstock, so that it would blend in with the rest of the body. I wasn't about to try to modify the neck and painting the ebony fingerboard and all that stuff. So I found this Gibson Maestro guitar for $99. And I thought, you know, if I was really going to buy a guitar, it would cost me more than $99 for the parts. The bridge, the pickups, the pick guard, the potentiometers, the volume and tone controls, the neck, and the hardware and all that. So I thought $99 for the parts. If I screw it up royally, what did I lose? $100. Now, the next picture is actually, well, I thought, well, it says Maestro, but is it really, just to show you that again, is it really like just a piece of crap guitar? And I saw, well, it says Gibson. I thought maybe somebody just stuck a Gibson plate over the truss rod there to try to help sell it for $100. So I went online and I looked it up and I said, who makes Maestro guitars? And it says, what is a Maestro Gibson guitar? Maestro by Gibson acoustic guitar review. Maestro by Gibson is a legitimate brand owned by Gibson. This line of entry-level guitars is intended to make it easier for beginners and those new to the instrument by being affordable in price without compromise on Gibson's craftsmanship. And that was in March of 2022. And actually, now that I think about it, that's probably when I bought the guitar, to take it apart and strip it down. So, all right. So, and if you want to go back to any of these slides, if you're watching for the first time, then please let me know, because we're talking about this baby. If you're just now tuning in, we're talking about this beautiful AR guitar that I have never made ever a guitar in my life. So I thought, well, the first thing I'm going to have to do is take it all apart, and maybe it'll never go back together again. I don't know. So I thought, okay, well, having never made a guitar and nobody to talk to that I wanted to, because they would have probably just shot my idea down. But I thought, well, first thing I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to get some really good measurements. Okay, I got to point this way. So I wanted to measure the height of the strings off the body, and I took pictures along the way so that I noted that the pickup there angles, you know, like you can see the pickup angles a little bit like that. And then I thought, well, there's going to be a whole lot of measuring going on here. So then I thought, well, I noticed that the neck sits in the cavity of the body on an angle there. So I measured, because I knew at some point that I would need to make the cutout for the neck. And I knew there was no screwing that up. That had to sit really nice and tight. So I measured this guitar every which way until I thought, okay, now it's time to take it apart. But I wasn't taking it apart just yet because I still had more pictures to take. And then once I had finished with the pictures, did I jump a picture? Let me see. Yeah, no, that was the one. Okay. So then I thought, okay, well, I'm going to go buy some wood at Home Depot. And I can't remember if it was, I think it's alder. Yeah, alder wood. And it was expensive. But they only had it in like 1/2 inch thickness. So I bought two. I bought one longer plank, a 4-foot section of the wood, because they sold it by the foot, and I sandwiched it together and screwed and glued it together. And that way I knew once I got to the neck cavity, all I would have to do would be to cut through the one section of wood, and it would have a nice level flat bottom without having to drive myself nuts chiseling away. So then I thought, okay, and then more measuring. So I was measuring from the pickup, where the pickup was located in the body, to whichever fret I was measuring there. I can't remember which one I was going by. I think I originally started from the 12th fret, but then I thought, okay, we still got more measuring. How far away is the center of the bridge from the pickup? Because it was only a one pickup guitar. And then I got the measurement for that. Then we had to actually lay it out with some laser action, just laying the bridge across the body. And as you see, at the very, very top, you'll see I have a laser level just from my workroom. I thought, well, if I shoot the level down the center of the fret dots, it should land in the middle of the bridge. And assuming that I have the bridge drilled for the holes in the right location, the intonation should be right. So I knew I'd only have one shot at that. So I was getting the pencil marks for where the screws, bolts are going to sit through the bottom of the bridge right up there. And then laying a piece of cardboard where the pickup should go, and just making sure that everything looked lined up. And then that was one view, and then this is looking down the neck, shooting the laser straight down there. And as you can see, it's still just the two pieces of wood that are glued together, screwed and glued, or glued and screwed, and just laying across there. Now it was for the time to start getting into the layout. So now I've got it all mapped out, where the bridge ends, where the neck ends, and that was as far as I went on that. So then I thought, well, now it's time to cut out a template out of MDF board, which is only like 1/4 inch thick, so that the router bearing could follow the edge of the MDF template and not actually cut into the wood. So I cut out the the trigger cavity there, and just the general layout of the body where it meets. Wow. And it looks pretty darn close to what I ended up doing. As I see right here, as you can see right here, it is a little bit more of a curve from where it joins the body. So, and then, so I taped that down to the body, the piece of wood, and then I started going to work on the router. And this is where it got dangerous, because you can see the router at the top left corner. It's a big heavy duty router. It weighs a lot, and I bought a special router blade for it, a router bit that actually, I forget what it's called. I think it's called a compound bit. And instead of the teeth just going like this, they go like this, and they kind of just cut from two different directions as it's going around. And as I was starting at the top where the neck is going to join the body, I thought, I'm going to start, because you have to start a certain way. So I just thought, well, I'll just go up around like that, and then around the top and come around. But when I came off the bottom of the AR magazine designated area, where the neck sits into the cavity, I thought that's going to be very tricky to not rip that part of the wood apart. So I just went around real carefully, and you could see it was plunging down into the wood, into the sacrificial board, as it is known. These are all terms that I just learned while I was building the guitar. So yeah, and that template is two-face taped down to the piece of wood, and the piece of wood is two-face taped down to the sacrificial board so that nothing would move. And then it was all securely, really securely screwed down to the where did I go? Back over here? No, where was it? Whoa, wrong button. I'm not going to mess with that anymore. I'm just going to continue on. We'll both be happier. So then, as you can see, so where the neck of the body, the neck of the guitar joins the body, you can see how there is a section of wood that's not there at all because it curves around right here. Where is it? Right there. So there is no wood on this side of the body. So I had to be very careful not to tear the pocket out. And as you can see, the router came flying off, came right towards me down here at the bottom, and it tore the crap out of the bench that it was all clamped down to. And it took that piece of wood out of the bench in like a nano of a second, not even a fraction of a second. And it came right towards my leg, but luckily the bench got in the way. Otherwise, that would have been my thigh. So that was scary. And I said, oh, shit. And nobody was home. And then I laughed because I thought, wow, good thing didn't tear my leg off. That's just tearing the template off the top of the guitar. Keep in mind, this is my first guitar I've ever built, and if you've ever built a guitar, you can laugh at me. I don't care. This is the first time I've ever built a guitar, and I'm sure that you could tell me where I screwed up and how I could have done it better. But the bottom line is, you're going to hear this guitar, this one right here, in just a few minutes after I complete the documentary on how I built it, because I've wanted to do this for the longest time and I never did. Okay, so that's the final view of all the routing that took place. And then here is with the holes drilled for the bridge, the router routing out a cavity for the pickup, and then the two holes drilled for the pots and the stock. Right back here. Oh, I keep banging into the microphone. The pots. Where is the mic? The lighting. Can't get the lighting for. Oh, right there. So the volume and the tone controls right there. And then just coming out the back side. Oh, yeah, there it is. All right. Sorry if this is boring to you, but so many people want to know how I did it. And I'll be taking this guitar out 2 days from now. Happy Friday, everybody. August 15th, we made it to the middle of the month. Okay, so that's the front of the guitar. And then here is the back of the body. So that's where I routed out the area for the tone and volume pots, being very careful not to come all the way through the front side. And you'll see a line that goes from that cavity for the pots drawn on to go towards the middle of the guitar, and that was where I had to drill a hole for the ground wire to attach to the bridge on the front side, because you have to ground the bridge to the electronics, otherwise it has a loud, annoying hum. So then it was time to get the lines kind of drawn on the body. That was a little nerve-wracking, but I knew I could sand them off. But that's where I figured the magazine would attach, and the cutout for the, everything, and embellishing lines. And then we got, there's the little Dremel type roto zip. It's called a roto zip. It's made for cutting out drywall, but I put a drill bit in there, and I made the straight lines that accent the magazine right here, right there. Those were made with the roto zip. And the magazine does not come off. This magazine is like part of the guitar. And you'll see the field testing in a few minutes. Okay, so then we have the painting and drying. So I thought the black and the gray would be a nice little kind of accent. And then the final AR right there, as you just saw it here with an earlier strap that I got, but I don't like that strap. Even though that strap is a lot lighter weight, the strap that's on it now is more authentic, as I showed you just moments ago with the real heavy duty Zorro, like in the days of the Westerns. I mean, this guitar strap weighs more than the guitar. I'm not kidding you. And then I thought, okay, so now I've got this beautiful guitar. I wonder which one of the cases that I have I could put this in, because not every guitar has to be in its case. You can hang some up on the wall like you see. Of course, I could have made the length of the guitar just a tiny bit shorter. Maybe like instead of ending it here, I could have ended it here. But I really went to full scale. And needless to say, the guitar would not fit in any of the cases that I owned. So I had to build a case. So then I got out my tools again, my miter saw, my levels, and I mapped it out. And then I thought, okay, well, I had to put my camera inside my phone camera and close the lid and see where the high spots were hitting and all that, and it was a job. And then I eventually painted the outside of the case with that special paint that they paint speaker cabinets with, and then I lined it. To look like this. So it's got a beautiful, beautiful red velvet or felt interior, and that's the whole deal there. Oh, and then we had to field test it. We had to go take it out into the field and make sure that it worked. So that's exactly what we did. We took it's not a Humvee, but we took the what do you call that truck? I can't remember what, other than a cargo truck. So got the U.S. Air Force banner hanging back there, and some other Army, Navy, Marine branches of flags back there on the truck. So we took it out into the field, and then we thought, okay, so now if I want to put this on display in the studio, what would I hang behind it on the wall? So I thought, let's take a beautiful picture of it, since Secret Garden Studios is a full-scale studio with art department, photography department, video department, audio department, and we took a picture of it and made it into a standard size poster so that we could actually hang it on the wall. So that's actually a photograph lit from the side to give it that three-dimensional look. And then when I hang the guitar up on the guitar hook, it hangs right over the top of that, and it looks just like the guitar is there when it's not there. It's the coolest thing. So anybody commenting? Oh, Bill, we can hear you on X. Thank you, Bill. See, I've been talking and making sure that I didn't screw up with the sequence of slides that I had to do twice. So Bill says he can hear us on X, and we're on YouTube also. Let me see if there's anybody checking us out on YouTube. Well, again, my X viewers, seems like my X viewers are awake by the day, and the YouTube viewers are awake by night. So it's time to crank this baby up and let you hear it. Let's get this over my shoulder here. Oh man, like I said, the strap weighs a ton. All right, I'm going to take your comment away for a minute, Bill, so that people can actually see the guitar. All right, so see, we're wireless here. We got, oh, and that was the other thing that was really nice about this. The wireless system, just, I got to aim it to the camera. Come over here a little bit. So the wireless thing just recesses right back into there, just completely flush with in there. All right, and remember, this is the FJB edition, thanks to my good friend Elliot. My good friend Elliot customized the final touches on this beautiful AR guitar. All right, so let's see. Oh, I do have to say, it is a fun guitar to play. It's very easy to hold. It's got a nice balance. Look at that. It's not like a Telecaster or a hollow body where it's neck heavy or anything like that. It just sits right there. But not comfortable to sit and play. But I'm going to be uncomfortable for you guys for a minute. So let's see. So, the making of the AR15 Gibson Maestro guitar. First and last off the assembly line at Secret Garden production facility, Secret Garden Studios production facility, where this guitar will end up in the hands of somebody one day when I am no longer here. When I am long gone, I wonder who will have this guitar and they'll say, I wonder who made this. I don't think Gibson ever made any guitars that looked like that. And maybe I'll have to just put a little note inside that custom guitar case that I made with a little video link to this so they get the whole rundown. What do you think, Bill? Anybody else that's watching got any comments or questions? Because I'm about ready to go jump in the pool. It's a hot day out there today. And I'm just going to check the tuning. I haven't checked the tuning. Oh, it tunes really, really easily and nicely too. Let me see. Let me get over to here. Tuning right there. Let's give it a tune. Just to let you know, it is tunable. Play. Let's play. Oh, commercials. Don't you hate that? We're going to skip the commercial because we can. All right. Let's see. Look at that, man. That's in tune from yesterday. And I was playing the crap out of it yesterday. My fingers are sore. Got heavy gauge strings on here. That one's pretty good too. I know one of these is out. I heard it. Oh, this is my YouTube guitar tuning video. I like that. Ah, that's the one that was off. That one's pretty close. There. That's it. Even up at the 15th fret, A is in tune. Harmonics are perfect. All that measuring seems to have paid off when I was measuring from the nut to the bridge and how far away and all that. Just amazing that it worked out. And the E is perfectly in tune. Amazing. And that is my video of the build, the custom AR build, my friends. So I'm going to see you later. I hope you have a fabulous day. Bill, thank you for letting me know that you could hear me and see me. And I'm going to upload this to the archive on Rumble now. Ciao. See you Sunday.